Hey, what's going on, guys? Mike Patrick, and in this video, I want to talk about the law, statutes, and commandments, okay? I want to talk about how it's extremely important to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Now, once again, in my videos, I try not to, I don't make my channel a religious channel. I talk about things that can help us, regardless of our religious uh, ideology, okay? So this is not to attack anybody or to turn off anybody that doesn't necessarily have the same beliefs, okay, from a spiritual or religious standpoint. Now, with that said, the law, statutes, and commandments. Now, you're gonna think, well, if it's not about being religious, you're telling me about law, statutes, and commandments, and that applicable to the Bible, right? And perhaps you're not a Bible believer, okay? I that's fine with me, you know what I mean? But the thing about it is, either way you look at it, guys, it's a great way to um, to bring structure to our lives, okay, and to society, okay. It's a great way to live, okay, to uphold a society. All right. Now you notice how all civilizations fall at some point, and right before they fall, usually the morality is just completely out back. There is none, or there is a lack of it, okay? So there's a whole lot of immoral things that's going on in these different civilizations and societies right before they fell. Okay? Um, I don't want to make this a fear monger video either. So, anyone can that has two eyes, and some sense can look around and see that morally we're in bad shape, guys. Morally we're in bad shape right now. Let's not, let's not sugarcoat it, right? So, with that said, guys, the law, statutes, and commandments are for us, okay? It's for us, to manage society, okay, and to make sure, you know, life is pretty good. You know what I mean? Because when we are engulfed and when we indulge in what seems like it's fun, I guess, at the time, or immoral pleasures, you know, because obviously people wouldn't be immoral if it didn't serve them in some way. All right, but it's very carnal and flesh serving, okay, and it's always a bigger picture, right? It's just like if you were to, not to get too graphic here, but if you was to fornicate with somebody with HIV, they could be a very attractive person, right? And you could be very drawn to wanting to fornicate with them, but on the out, and that experience may be very pleasurable, right? But in the long run, you're gonna have to pay dearly with your life for making that decision for that carnal, fleshly desire, right? So it's the same thing with society, guys. People are going off and doing whatever, right? And people have always been going off and doing whatever, but it's at an all-time high. You know what I mean? And that's not a good sign. So the reason, like I said, we want to keep those laws, statutes, and commandments, not because anybody's trying to make you or force you to be a certain religion or anything like that. You don't have to be religious at all, okay? You don't even have to be a Bible believer, but you can put to test the 10 commandments. You see what I'm saying? You can say, well, okay, if society, people was to keep this structure in society and uphold this and honor this, things would be a whole lot better. You know what I mean? If people actually honored and stuck to the commandments. So you don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to be well, it only applies to the Bible. So yeah. So now with that said, is there anything else I wanted to add to this? I felt like I was gonna use a reference to. Oh yeah, and see the thing is, right? It's not always judgment either. Like a lot of times, from what my beliefs is, I believe there in the higher power, the Most High. I believe in the commandments and it being um, something that was ordained by the Most High. Okay, in order to serve the people. You know what I mean? Being the Most High, knowing what it would take in order for life's experience to be the best. Okay, and and so I believe things came down on societies based on the fact that they did not want to uphold the laws, statutes, and commandments. Just like if you go and break a law, you know, out here in the street, there's laws that you have to abide by, and if you don't, but you break them, then there is a consequence for it. So like, but I was saying like everything, all judgment too, isn't or everything that we're put through is not always judgment either. Okay, this may be going off a little bit. You know, you think about like sometimes when you are people of the Father, okay, people of the Lord, all right. Sometimes you can be living living a holy life, so to speak, and the Father can still test you. Okay, everything is not a punishment because you're being judged because something that you did wrong. So there were plenty of people in the Bible and men of the Lord in the Bible who were tested greatly, not because they were wicked, but just because as a um, as a test of their faith. Okay, so Job was a really righteous man who wasn't being judged because of anything he did wrong. Um, Abraham was asked to sacrifice his son. You see what I'm saying? Not because he did anything wrong, you know, and so on and so on. So a lot of times, men of the Lord, this is men. I mean, men and women. You know what I mean? But I guess this will be a little bit of encouragement. Don't think that everything you do. I mean, and I say this is how it ties in. But just because you're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, just because you live in a very righteous, clean life, it doesn't mean you still won't be put through trials and tribulations. That's why I wanted to put that in there, okay? That's how it ties in, all right? Because I don't want people to get discouraged if you do start living right as you can, and then and you feel like the Father's not dealing with you because you still may be going through, or you may be having trials and tribulations. You may have more than you ever had when you was living immorally, okay? Because now you're on a righteous path, okay? So hopefully this was a helpful video, guys. Law, statutes, and commandments. Great way to live, okay? Great way to uphold a society, okay? Whether you are religious or not. All right, peace.